and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and bonus WIP and Chat for my Heaven and Earth Design August. That is the plan. So far, it's going well. So I have popped it up on the Facebook group, but I already had this little, basically I do a grid of 6 squares. I already had this one here done, and I've done 1, 2, 3 over the last 3 days. So the first, second and third, and this one is for the 4th. There may be some days that I do more, but for now I've actually been extremely busy, so I've only just been managing to sort of fit one in a morning. Okay, it'd be helpful if I actually had picked that diamond up. So I need a gap of 4 and then it there. In fact, let me move this back over to where it was. So I am basically working on my Heaven and Earth design throughout the month of August. I'm not doing a WIP and Chat a day. It's not the same as the likes of my June Waffle or my December Advent. Those things, I do a waffle a day. For this one, I'm not. This is like my own little mini challenge of things, of something that I want to make some really good progress on, is my hope. To make a bit of a dent into my chart. Now, the only thing that I have sort of worked out with actually taking note of how much I've done, and is actually, in my opinion, a little bit sad, is that by doing this size section, completing this size section is 0.4% of the whole painting. So, in theory, I have got, what, 250 odd different sections that need completing. So, in that sense, it's a long process, that is for sure. I always knew it was going to be a big project. I think I would have liked it to have at least got 1% done each day. But without doing 2.5 sections, it's kind of not going to happen. But the month of August should put a nice dent in it, at least, is the plan. That I'll get a nice little chunk done. So I'm working with my tablet, which is an absolute lifesaver for me. The section for today is extremely confetti. So we will see, like, not so much how far, well, yeah, partly how far I actually do get while chatting. It is extremely warm where I am today. So it may be that I have to take a break. It may be that I have to cut the section early on video due to the heat, and see how, but still finish the section, of course. We shall see how far we go. But yeah, for anybody that is new, this is my Heaven and Earth design cross stitch chart on here. It's a cross stitch chart of Little Dreamer's Tree, and I am completing it in the form of a diamond painting. I have so far, it's probably been about 2 years I've been going on this project, so I felt like doing a Heaven and Earth design August would give it a little bit of a kick up the rear and hopefully help me to get somewhere on this, get it at least not necessarily completed. I don't think there's enough hours in the day to try and actually complete it. But I am hoping to get a chunk of the way through it, and if it works, and I do find that working on a section per day, you know, feels like I've really made a nice dent, then I may well try and continue it. I just have to pay a little bit more attention when I'm doing this one, because that last row I actually don't use. I don't put diamonds on that last row, because to round it up to a centimetre, I ended up with that. So yeah, I have lots of comments and questions. In fact, where's my little cheat sheet? This is the painting that I'm doing. I am about, I think, hang on, that's the tree part, that's, yeah, I'm over here. I'm over here is where I am. I am 35.66% done after placing those few diamonds. But yeah, I get 0.4% done each time, and I have got all of that to go. So I've got quite a bit of work to do, of catching up to do. Let's get number 300. So I have got my diamonds down here in a case, because not everything can fit on my desk. I've got my canvas, I've got my tablet, I've got my Mac for comments and questions, and I need room to move my elbows. It's been a while since I've done a WIP and Chat while doing a Heaven and Earth Designs, so please bear with me. I say, not only is it extremely warm today and very, very muggy, but it's been a while since I've tried to do both. So I'm going to see how far I get. This app, by the way, is called Pattern Keeper. It is only available on Android, but it is an absolute dream when it comes to working on my Heaven and Earth design. It makes it so much easier, more so than I ever realised. Okay, so comments. Let's see if I can just scoot this over a little bit so that I can try and read it at the same time as placing down diamonds, though I am at the beginning, so it may be that I have to just have a minute, because it's very much counting, hence counting cross stitch is the name, but it's very much counting when you first starting to do these. And that has highlighted symbols down here, but that's not in the section that I'm doing. In fact, we have a lot of different colours in this section. Let's see if I can just, when it's only a couple of diamonds, I try to just fish them out and see if that will work, because it just makes my life so much easier than tipping the whole lot out and taking the time to tip them all back. But cross stitch and tat, she said I think that she should explain her 60 paintings, diamond paintings that she has kitted up. I think you should do you. I don't think you should explain at all. I don't feel you need to explain. However, I always love an explanation because it's often interesting. So she said when her doctors made her quit working, she had 3 jobs at the time. She said she had an accounting one from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. She had an auto insurance customer service job, which was on the phone from 9:30 to 6:30 p.m. And then she did pizza delivery from 7 until close. one very, very busy lady. She said, so she had to find things that could occupy her mind, her time and her hands, which I completely understand, especially being that busy. She says that was almost 20 years ago. She said she does almost every type of handcraft or needlework, and she has many ribbons and awards from state and county fairs. She said with many projects, projects having found homes around the world. She said 4 years ago she did 2 diamond paintings in round and started a square that was awful. She said it was popping drills. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Popping drills, lousy double-sided tape adhesive, and it made her go back to her other crafts until last October, she said 2021. She said since restarting in October 2021, she has completed over 50. Wowzers. She said her last 30 by 40 in squares took her 3 days. She also has all but 3 colours in her square spares that take up 4 boxes. So she is looking for a heaven and earth design to do. Oh, that'll be interesting, because then you'll be able to use some of your squares. It definitely takes your mind. It's very similar to, of course, counted cross stitch, which, according to your username, for sure, is one of the crafts that you do. She says she appreciates the WIP and chat videos, she says, for adult conversation. I don't know if I could class myself as an adult, but I do try sometimes. She said since her hubby had a stroke, he actually can't speak. And sorry, I'm just throwing diamonds everywhere. She said he does do everything else, including the housework, the cooking and the laundry. Oh my goodness me, can I borrow him? She says, so she can't complain. She says, but your voice is so easy to listen to while she diamond paints. She says she does wish that she could do gel polish, and I've just noticed one I've missed. If I'm missing them already, this is going to be a long one. She says she wishes she could do gel polish, however, she is allergic. She says she's on 740 of my 911 videos. She said she's binge watching. She says she watches the preparation video playlist sometimes on its own as well. She says, sorry for the book. She says, but thanks for keeping me company. Oh, you're welcome. It's very interesting to know why you have so many kitted up. But you don't have to answer to how many you have kitted up, if that makes sense. It's always interesting to know, but don't feel like you have to explain yourself. I think I'm in awe of how many you've got kitted up. I love the idea of it, but I also then think I would get disappointed if I didn't have the excitement of kitting one up when I went to do it. Because I do love kitting up, so it's sort of something I try and restrain myself from doing. Oh, so 3, 2, 1. I only need 3 of them on the rest of the painting, and I'm about to place one of them down. It is one of the fullest pots of diamonds that I have. I obviously am not going to need all of these. So there is only 2 left on the painting. Don't know where they are, but there's only 2. Okay, 3, 2, 7. Only need 41 of these. And I've just picked up a bit of trash as well from the red. I picked up this blue pen partly because the glue dot in it is really, really sticky. I was using the red, white and blue pen, but the glue dot was not very sticky at all. And I thought if I replace the glue dot, it's going to be major sticky. So I went for this blue one thinking it was medium sticky. Now it keeps picking up all sorts. But yeah, I'm so glad that I can keep you company in relation to this for the craft. There are absolutely, well, as you know already, there are loads of videos to catch up on, and I try and get a video a day up as well. And this section, I'm going to have to start planning it so that I don't end up with such a confetti section on a WIP and Chat, because I feel like all I am doing is pulling out one diamond each time. Oh, there's another one with just one. Just one. I don't even think there's many here that there's going to be a lot of. At this point, at this rate, I'll just be dipping into pots and not actually tipping any diamonds into my tray, the rate I'm going. The last section was like this as well. Oh, get 3. So it's that one. So a few of the numbers are coming down, but of course not lots. I do like it when I get to tip out the right amount though. Just makes it a little bit easier. So 1, 2, and then there's always one that never goes the right way up. 3. There in the next section. There in this section. Okay, scroll up. Belara. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've got a couple of different shades here in this one, but I'm going to pop one of them up here because it's on its own, and then the couple that are closer down the bottom here, I'm going to make sure that they're the same shade because they're actually touching. Because otherwise, by the time you put all the diamonds in, you can't tell that they're a different shade, to be honest. I've not found it's caused me a problem yet. So yeah, Belara said, for me, she said it's also quite hard to motivate myself to get out my Heaven and Earth design. So they are finding it a bit of trouble. They said just because it's so much stuff to set up. They're working on their dining table, so it's quite a fight to set it up every time. Once they do, they really enjoy the process. Sorry, counting again. They really enjoy the process and all the details that the Heaven and Earth design is giving. Just wish they could have a huge craft room, but trying now to work on it at least once at the weekend, since they have more time then to focus on the normal kits during the weeks, since they're faster to set up. Well, that sounds like a good plan. I mean, I have taken over our dining table with this one at the moment. I have 4 60 bottle cases that have the diamonds for this. So I do stack them up. I do stack them up on top of each other, and I do roll this up and sit it on the top. But it is definitely staying out on the dining table for the month of August, minimum. It may stay for longer if I decide to carry on and try and get more done, but it's definitely staying for the month of August because I need to feel like I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm kind of hoping that things will, I won't be as busy in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping that it will be a quieter couple of weeks. So in a couple of weeks, for a couple of weeks, which means that I might be able to do some bigger chunks of this. I don't really have the headspace to do it later on in the day, which in a way is good because it's not as easy to work on when it's darker than it is at daytime. It's a lot easier to work on in the daytime. But yeah, I'm hoping in a couple of weeks I can start maybe doing a little bit more so that I can actually get some percentages moving. Because even if each section was 1%, it only gets me from 35% to 65% by doing a section each day throughout August. And at the minute, it's not going to get me anywhere. I'm not even going to hit 50% at the rate I'm going. And I would really like to start going downhill on this project. I will really like, I feel like 2 years is plenty. I need the kick to try and get this over the 50% hill and then see how far I can get it towards completion. I'm trying to start that process a little bit. So this section which I'm doing, which is technically the section for the 4th, I'm actually filming this the day before. So I'm filming this on the Wednesday. I have already done my section for Wednesday. I did it this morning. I posted it this morning. So now it's whether if I still do another one tomorrow, off camera, but still do another one tomorrow, then I'm actually getting myself a little bit ahead. I say a little bit, 0.4%. But hey, don't they say every little helps? And once I get past some of these confetti bits, I'm sure it will be quicker anyway. Okay, next one, number 6. I do need that one. I feel like I've pulled pretty much every single pot out of here. Oh, that's 2. Let's have those 2. So I want one up here. And I want one here. Oh, that feels like a proper little treat. I've actually got a few all together. I can actually tip a few out. Okay, next comment. So, kitting up Karen. She says, fab video as always. She said she was listening while working on her square work in progress or square WIP. Soulmate by Raven Phelan. She said she thinks I'm doing a fab with my nails. Yeah, just ignore that one. It completely snapped. She says she's a nail tech, so she knows what to look for. In that case, you're getting a right show with them today. They need doing. I've just not found the time. She said the prep should take the longest because that's what's going to give you the best finish. She said she has the same problem when doing her own nails. So when other people ask to look at her nails, she always gives them her left hand. Well, at least that is not only, at least it's not only me on that side of things. I did have a nail that was showing signs of snapping. This one right down, like as far as it could go. So the other day I was moving a load of boxes. A load of stock had arrived and was sorting out and straightening up, and there's nothing like organising to make it fit into smaller spaces. And I was doing a load of that, and I decided to chop it before it broke, because I thought if it breaks any more and rips, that is so going to hurt. So I decided to chop it down, and yeah, I was like, I'll redo my nail polish from there, and I'll just trim them all down a little bit shorter. Not as short as the one that snapped, but shorter, so they look a little bit more similar. I've not had the time. I've not had the time to do my nails yet. maybe that'll happen at some point, maybe at the weekend. But yeah, it's nice that I get a comment about how well my nails are looking when I have completely trashed one. I think I trashed it sorting out and moving stuff about before then realising and chopping it off before I did any real harm. Oopsie. I do want to use that nail polish from Melissa as well at some point, hopefully soon. She did tell me that the colour was called Latte, so quite apt for me to have coffee coloured nails. So maybe I'll get a chance to put that colour on. I might actually save it until this nail has grown back a little bit, just because I do find that if I'm using darker polish on shorter nails, it stands out a little bit more. See, look, I tried to cheat because there was only a couple of diamonds and tipped them out of the end of the tray, and I made a mess. Note to self, don't try and do a shortcut. Oh, I picked up the wrong bottle. I picked up the wrong bottle. So these are the 3 that I should have just placed. So that's one of them. So let me trade that off. They're very faint to see. That's another one. Oh, there was actually more than 3. That's another one. That's one. Try and get hold of that. So that's one. This is one. I'm already trying to fix a mistake. Go me. Okay, so that's them all in that square. That's it in that one. And then there's just this one here. So let me pick that one up. Where does that go again? There. Okay, so I think I've got them all. If I haven't, I haven't. That's a drama for another day. I don't really think I'll notice. But this is what I should have put down. So now I'm going to pick up the ones I've just taken off and use those first. This is where the lighter ones go. There. And I've got a couple that are upside down. Then I want there. And then down here. And then I do need a few more, so we'll tip them back out again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Breathe. Error has been corrected. Start again. And then we have a load of 498 as well. This pot is extremely full, so one tap and it just goes exploding. But got a couple there and a couple here. And this is why I don't get through comments and questions anywhere near as quickly when I'm doing my Heaven and Earth designs. So I do apologise, I have to concentrate a lot more. And I can't, I'm looking at this screen rather than the comment screen. So I do find that my Heaven and Earth design WIP and Chats do tend to go a little bit slower. So I hope you can enjoy them for the month of August. And then if I do still end up doing more of my Heaven and Earth design, you'll just see bigger changes when I do updates every other Sunday. I think I'll try and bring back. We'll see how it goes. See how August goes. Let me get through August first. I'm getting ahead of myself. I've been doing so many things for forward planning items over the probably last month or two. So many things that are for later on in the year. My brain forward plans everything at the moment. Just keeps wanting to forward plan it all. Okay, have we got any of those? Still got some. We're still on the first case. Still on the first case, and we've been going for 30 plus minutes already. And I'm on case 1 of 4. This is definitely a longer one than usual. Alice, she says, "Hey Rebecca." She said it was a very stormy day today, she said, here in Geelong, Australia. I know Geelong. I say no. I frequent Geelong often. My sister currently lives in Geelong. She said she's made a start on her Heaven and Earth design. She said after many hiccups with the company she bought it through. She says, but she's working from the chart. She says she's not using Pattern Keeper. So that's the same as my mum. My mum's using from the chart. She said she doesn't have an Android device. She said, and so the cheaper option for her to do it is to do it on paper. She's made a fair few boo-boos, she says, but thankfully it's the background and at the top, so you can't see them. I mean, I've just made it here with Pattern Keeper, never mind without. I'm making boo-boos either way. And to be honest, I think it can be really quite forgiving, more so than you maybe think it's going to be. She also says she can't see them. She says because she didn't know where she buggered it up. I like that. Yeah, I've definitely done some. I've done some before where I've misplaced a colour or placed the wrong colour down. But by the time I've realised, like, I can't even find where the ones are that I need to take out, with or without Pattern Keeper. So it's just not happened. It's just not going to be changed. It's going to have to stay the way it is. And I couldn't even tell you anywhere close to where that error is anymore without going back and looking at the YouTube video, because I have that to tell me. So I seriously would not worry about it. I think the image will still turn out fine and dandy. And, you know, you'll be happy with it how it is. I'm trying to finish that bit up. So that's those. Oh man, I've still got that next number. That was like a little run of them, but I've still got loads. She says she definitely agrees. She said watching you do your Heaven and Earth design is her favourite. Oh, well, I hope you're enjoying it even with the long chatter, because that is, I feel like that's what my WIP and Chat life is going to be for August. Is a lot of the chatter. She says she's totally down for a Heaven and Earth design August. She said the image that she has got represents how she feels about the loss of her dad back in 2018. She said August is his anniversary. She said so this will make it a little special for her personally. Oh, well, I hope you are, you know, as much as you can, you are enjoying this process. This comment was left when I was thinking about doing a Heaven and Earth design. Woohoo! First case is done. when I was thinking about doing a Heaven and Earth Design August. Now I actually am. So I am trying my best to do at least a section a day in August, and I'm throwing in an extra WIP and chat each week so that you guys that are only on YouTube can see my progress. Though I do pop it on Instagram. I pop it on the 4Kids at 147 Instagram. And I do pop it in the Facebook group as well. I've been very good at posting so far. So yeah, feel free to have a look there if you have Instagram or Facebook. If not, then I'm trying to do 2-week updates. So a WIP and chat on a Wednesday or a Thursday, followed by my Sunday WIP and chats, which will give you guys chance to hopefully see movement. Because it feels like a lot, like it was nearly the full row, like I'm finishing off the row on the 3rd, and I only had one section of it done before. I think just in the grand scheme of the whole painting, it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. Oh, see, back to another one. So yeah, you do your Heaven and Earth Design alongside us, Alice, and anybody else that wants to join in with a Heaven and Earth Design project. Maybe you've got another project that seems to have been going on for a while. I also have my Christmas cross stitch that I need to do, which I have made a start on the back stitch, but I do need to finish off the rest of the back stitch for that one. So maybe if I find that the Heaven and Earth Design's got a bit too much, maybe for September I'll mix it up with doing a section of the cross stitch and trying to get that finished, and then maybe go back to Heaven and Earth Design. Set myself those, mini challenges to get stuff done. But yeah, whatever project you need to get finished or you want to get finished, then by all means join in with our clean-up of projects. Sarah Jane, she says she loves the waffle. She says, and thank you for keeping her company. She said while she finished the sky on her tigers painting. She said we finished at the same time. See? Perfection. I often finish at the same time as somebody. Not always the same person, but I often finish at the same time as somebody somewhere. I will finish at the same time as. Yeah, I'm sure I will. See, this doesn't work when I try to tip it out of the tray a quicker way because there's only a couple. I only need one of them. I've not found where it is yet. She says she has a few questions. Okay, let me find my next colour. Oh, there we go. 726. She says, have you ever cut a velvet canvas to frame? She said, or put on the wall, or does it fray? I've cut all sorts of canvases. I've cut them all round the edge to frame, and I've not had a problem with any of them. She says her washi tape left a blue mark, she said, around the canvas. So she's trying to think what's best to do. She said it's her first velvet / wavy canvas she's had, and it's a 70 by 50 in square, she said, with poured glue. Yeah, I've cut it and not had a problem. If you want to test it and test whether it will fray or not, the best thing to probably do is not cut really close to the diamond, so cut somewhere else, and then try scraping your nail down the side and see you know, how much it takes for it to fray. If you're putting it in a frame, then you shouldn't have a problem anyway, because it's not gonna get, you know, manhandled in that way. If you're looking at putting it on something where the edges will be exposed, then you could like seal the edges. You could either cut it wider, so cut the canvas wider than the diamonds and put some form of binding tape over it, or you could cut it closer to the diamonds and put some sort of glue sealer on it so that it can't fray. There will be something like stitchers use it, quilters and things like that. People, seamstresses will use it. Or maybe you could do, if you have a sewing machine, or if you know somebody that is good with a sewing machine, you could potentially give it a hem. There's nothing to say that you can't hem your diamond painting, just like you would a skirt. You could give that a go. Now I got those to go back in the tray because I actually paid attention and got them all to sit in the corner. I wasn't paying enough attention before to get it to do that. I only need 2 of these. So I've managed to pull 2 that of course are stuck together and probably won't want to come apart because I want them to, because I'm on camera and because it's warm. Do you know what? I give up. I'm just going to get 2 others. In fact, I've managed to get 3 now. First 2 to stand upright, you win. First 2 to go the right way up, get put on the painting. And the other one, tough. Off you go. Okay, 7:30. I've got some of those as well. It's times like this when there is so many confetti bits that I tell myself I should do a bigger section while I've got the diamonds out. You know, I should be putting them in another section. However, it is the confetti across too many squares. Not so much when I first start and I have to count, but like now when it's getting extremely busy. Looks a bit like you're supposed to feed Pac-Man around it. When it gets to that point, actually having a bigger section than this gets really, really confusing. So I know it's not a wise thing to do, but it is something I do on a big painting, a normal diamond painting. If I had quite a bit of a confetti section, especially if it was this heavy in confetti, I would more than likely do a bigger section, because I know full well I'm going to have to go back and refill some in anyway. So I may as well do a bigger section while I'm at it. And I can't do that on this because it just will bite me in the bum. Cecilia, she says, what do you do when you diamond paint? She says, so at the same time. She said, do you watch TV? She says she's listening to an audiobook most of the time. She says 30 minutes feels like 5 or 10 minutes. She said the time flies and she loves it. She says, thanks, by the way, for your tips about how to work with paintings. She says it works well to start with the colour that you have the most of. So, Cecilia, I tend to listen to an audiobook. It does often depend what painting I'm doing and who's about. So sometimes me and hubby will put something on TV and I'll watch the TV, but more often than not, my default is audiobook. Unless all the kids are downstairs and milling about, and then I'll just, they're my audiobook, they're my chitter chatter in the background. But yeah, audiobook is probably my default. I don't tend to do it as much to a Heaven and Earth design. It depends on what audiobook I'm listening to. So if I'm re-listening to something that maybe I have read or listened to before, then I'm happy to have an audiobook on while I'm doing my Heaven and Earth designs. If it's a new story and it's not a light-hearted story, you know, because I often like crime ones, so when it's something that I need to follow, then I don't tend to do it with my Heaven and Earth designs. But that is because with this one, I am spending so much time like counting and cross-checking. It's like my brain doesn't hear what the audiobook is. It doesn't hear the words properly. The same way when I'm just doing a regular diamond painting. So yeah, it does partly depend, but audiobook is my default, and I can quite happily while away a few hours doing that. It's my downtime, and especially now I am doing this full time. My days have been absolutely jam-packed. Sometimes I'm like, okay, what can wait till tomorrow? What can wait? You know, get myself a priority list. It has ups and downs. You know, there is times when there's less to do than other times, but we've got a lot of planning for the rest of the year at this time. So yeah, so I'm now very much trying to switch off in the evening. So I tend to start work between 7:30 and 8:30 when getting up with Luna and hubby going to work. He starts at 8, so off he goes, you know, and I'll often start something and then I tend to go pretty much most of the day. I may end up, you know, doing washing or something in between, but more often, well, tidying up, but more often than not, it's shop stuff all the way through until people start coming home at 4:30. The other night, Megan and I carried on till about 7:30 before we stopped. So we tend to keep going with whatever task we're doing. But then once we get to the end of that task, it's like, okay, no, stop. It can now wait till tomorrow. So I'm trying to get more diamond painting in because I'm loving it. And maybe Heaven and Earth design will become part of that. We'll see. Okay, let me get these two, and then I'm going to get these two, figure out what's going to be next. But then my memory card is about to save itself. Oh, it's the next one anyway. So I am going to go and I'm going to go pause the memory card, take a breather to cool down. You guys will know no different. So I'll see you in 2. Okay, I'm back. It is breezy outside, which makes it a little bit nicer. So that and a nice cold drink. And let's see, go from knocking out 1 to knocking out 4. And I only needed 2. Okay, let me find, that one is in there. We should even those out a bit. And we've got 2 of those as well. I'm not even halfway through this second case, and I'm already doing ones and twos of everything. Okay, Cat Lover says they have a business idea for the serial kitter uppers. She said sell the kits with storage, painting, etc. She said on places like Etsy, eBay, or whatever site suits your location. They said, knowing many diamond painters who don't enjoy kitting up, I can't imagine that. And she said that they, for one, would consider buying something already prepared, especially when I know we're getting ready for a trip and they don't have time to kit something up before they go. So there you go. Maybe that will work. I don't know if there would be, I don't know if you could make a full business out of it, but if you enjoyed kitting up, it might be an option for you, just for a little bit of fun, so that you get to kit up even more paintings without having to have somewhere to store them all, because you could pass them on to a new home. Emily said she finished school for summer, she said 2 days ago, Friday the 22nd, so that was when they broke up from school. And over the past 2 days, they have done more diamond painting than they normally do in a week, because they have nothing else that needs doing for once. Awesome. I know Megan has done more diamond painting in the past few days. So she did decide to take on sort of the August challenge along with me. And her challenge is to work through her Tinkerbell painting. Now, she actually didn't do any on the 1st of August. She did state how she was not off to a good start. However, she did 2 sections yesterday for me, which was the 2nd of August. As I'm filming this, it's the 3rd. So she did 2 sections yesterday, and she has already done her section for today. So she has caught up, counting her sections on her Tinkerbell diamond painting. She's not going to be able to finish it in August doing 1 section a day, but she does have some sections that are a little bit smaller than others, because she just divided up her top cover sheet. She just cut through it and divided it up. So she does have a couple that are smaller, so she may try and do 2 days when she gets to that, 2 sections in a day instead. But yeah, summer is a good time to, if you have summer holidays, you know, and that nice chunk of time to try and get some diamond painting done. I think Megan is really looking forward to kitting up one of her many Diamond Art Club paintings that she has. She has quite a few waiting to do. She's not enjoying the quality of the Tinkerbell. She is finding that she's having to use a roller over her diamonds every time she finishes a section. And they are multiple different sizes, but she is determined to finish it. So hopefully she will, you know, still get to carry on with a section a day or maybe more and try and make some headway. But she's enjoying doing it. She's hoping that when she goes back to school in the summer, because she's not working a sort of a because she's not doing her previous job role, she has a permanent job role, and is teaching set classes on set days, covering teachers' preparation time and stuff. She is hoping that on an evening she hasn't got stuff that she needs to bring home with her. and that she will be able to get more diamond painting in. Time will tell. It's always a bit of a spanner in the works, going back after summer. But so far, she's doing well. We shall see how the rest goes. Okay, got a couple of colours in there. That one has actually got a little bit of a noggin on the diamond. Actually sticks out a little bit, so I've got rid of that while I'm there. Oh, we do have. I didn't think I had many of that symbol, and there they are right in front of me. Beth says, when you work on more than one painting, she says, where do you put them? She says, aren't they in your way? It varies. So I have the mini paintings, which the mini paint gem paintings that I have kitted up, they all stay in their own little storage. When I am not working on them, they go on the bookshelf in my craft room, where the storage would live if I wasn't doing, if it was empty. It sits on one of those shelves the same way as when it's full. So they're pretty easy to keep contained and out of the way. My Heaven and Earth designs, both of them roll up. So this one I have rolled up a bit like a scroll, facing outwards on both ends. And they fit on a Kallax shelf. In fact, that's where they've pretty much spent their life for the past couple of years, and most of their life is spent there. This one is currently spending its life on my dining table, but again, still rolled up while I am trying to get more of it done. Picasso at the minute is on my easel, because I don't tend to work on my Heaven and Earth design on an easel. I need to have the tablet sort of close, because that helps save time. When I need to tap off each symbol, it's a lot easier to have it close. So this tends to sit on top of the painting while I'm doing it. So I'll work on this one flat. So Picasso is on my easel, which is propped up on my little table, and I just move the whole little table out the way when I'm not working on it. And then I tend to, so my large one tends to go there. When I'm not working on the large one, so say when I decide I want to work on my turtle one for a little bit, then I will just roll Picasso up and I prop him up in the corner in my craft room. He just gets tucked on his end on the corner, and then my turtle will go on my easel and I'll work on that one. When the turtle's not being worked on, like it isn't at the moment, I'm currently still thoroughly enjoying doing Picasso and actually trying to get him finished. It is on a hanger, so a trouser hanger. It's clipped on that and it's hung on a hook on the wall in my craft room. So they tend to either get tucked into corners or hung up on hangers on the wall, because wall space is well and truly used in my craft room. I wouldn't want it around the rest of the house, but in my craft room, or my craft shoebox, should I say, because it is a very small room. Yeah, I use the wall space. Yeah, like loads and loads. So that's where they took the storage, the diamonds. For each one, I have a little mini cart from IKEA. It's not the Raskog, it's the small version. And I can never actually remember the name of it. Every single time I mention it. Raschult, maybe? Is it called a Raschult, or is that something else? I do a lot of shopping in IKEA, so it could be something else. I have a little cart that holds things like my glue dots, some scissors, It normally holds my tablet for my Heaven and Earth design. Any little tools or diamond painting accessories. It holds my tray and my pen. It holds all that sort of stuff for me until I want to use it. So I use one of those shelves for the diamonds. So the diamonds for my turtle, which is a current 30 by 30 I have kitted up. And the diamonds for Picasso, if I'm not working on them, they go on my little cart. And my little cart has it has a topper. So you can get toppers from IKEA. I think they put them down as being breadboards, but they're made to fit on the top of the carts. So the likes of my Picasso that has quite a big storage container, I'm using an Elizabeth Ward, that just sits on the top. But my smaller pot that I am using for the turtle just sits on one of those little shelves. And sometimes my paint gems will go there as well. That little cart primarily at the moment is in my craft room, because when Luna was a puppy, she was very, very interested in eating anything in there. She has calmed down a lot more now. She is 6 months old now. She's calmed down a lot more. So it may be that my cart comes out into the front room again. Now that she doesn't chew and eat everything within a 2 metre radius. So yeah, they don't tend to get in my way. They have places where I tuck them when I'm not working on them. And then I pull them out when I want to work on them. And I find that works for me. Have we got any more? There we go, we're down to 898. Oh, we're getting there on finishing this second case. Let's see how much we can. Runaway diamonds, runaway lid. Quite a few that are joined together here. And that one is not in a square shape, it's in a diamond shape. So yeah, I hope that is a fair explanation of how I store stuff. I do have a craft room tour on my channel. It is forever changing, forever evolving. So I have recently actually put more shop stuff in my craft room than I think is showing in the last craft room tour that I did. But the basic furniture in there layout is the same. And yeah, I took things in all sorts of places. So if you have a look on that, you will be able to see where my Heaven and Earth design gets tucked, and then where I store my boxes of paintings. So my Diamond Art Club, Diamond Art Studio paintings that have come in a box. That's where I just tend to prop any large painting like Picasso. If I decided to stop working on him for a bit, he would just get rolled up and propped there until I'm ready to do him again. Okay, 4 of these. Always tips out more than 4 because I have far too many in this pot really. But that's okay, because I will get them on the painting slowly but surely. Let's get those on. And then I think that is where this case ends. Willique said, thank you so much. Oh yes, I do. That is that one done. 906 is the beginning of my next one. She says, thank you so much for the lovely video. She said she feels less guilty now because she has 4 paintings kitted up. I like the way this has given permission for everybody. So Cross Stitch and Tats, you've given permission for many people to kit up more paintings. So don't you feel guilty at all. Oh, helps if I actually mark those 2 off before I go to my lovely lime green. She says she does need to kit up 2 more. She says for drills and chills, drills and chills event and the witching festival. It said, now that I have seen and heard you, they dare to kit them both up for the events starting on September the 1st. So that is preparation. Much love from the Netherlands and keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoy it. Just double checking. This is one of the times where sometimes I have just too many gaps and I just need to check where it is that I should be placing them before I place them. Otherwise, I will do them wrong. Only need 5 of those. No, not in this section. Only need 7 of those. I'm getting rid of another one. I keep waiting. I keep hoping through some point throughout the month of August to turn a colour to 0. That would be nice. That would feel like a mini achievement to turn another colour to 0. I don't know that it's going to happen, but we can see. Simply Read says, hello Rebecca. They said they are, incredibly jealous but thankful at the same time. They're jealous because they have just had surgery and they can diamond paint. Oh, they can't diamond paint right now, but they are thankful that they have my videos to watch and listen. Pick up all those little tips ready so you'll be raring to go when you can get going again. She said the only problem with that is that as I'm watching, they said they wake up to a new video. They're still on pain medication, so they keep falling asleep. I send a few people to sleep, apparently. But they said, thank you for keeping me company while on my recovery. Well, I hope your recovery goes quickly, as smoothly as possible, and you can get back to diamond painting. Or at least enough to get back to diamond painting, but not have to necessarily work or do housework. That sort of level, and keep it at that for a little bit just so you can enjoy yourself and play a bit of catch up. Housework can definitely wait until the end. I like to click off a colour because then it fills in the rest properly. We've got 2 of those. Taylor Clay said, while they don't have a Heaven and Earth design project going, they do have a full coverage cross-stitch project that is just languishing on and on. Yeah, that's what this is. It's just going on and on. And they said it would be fun to work on while watching the WIP and Waffle. Well, get it out. Get out those projects that are they're just there constantly. And see if you can make some headway through August. I want this Heaven and Earth design. I'm thoroughly enjoying the process. It's not a matter that this is a chore, but it is something that I feel has gone on for long enough, and it now needs to get nearer to a closure, is what I'd like for this. Here we're getting to comments on last week's video. So they were catch up on comments from the one before, but I knew this would potentially be longer WIP and Waffles. So it's good to have enough things to talk about, then wonder what I'm doing. it looks like I have got one here that I have potentially not marked off. That letter A up there. In fact, I did both of those and I've not marked them off. So let's do those 3. And then I can press search. So I was on 934 and I can click on that one, click on highlight and mark them as done because they are both done. And then go back to 934 and in turn 935. And I've managed to go back and correct where I hadn't marked off. And then we go to 1. So the cat lady said, self-employed, yay. She said, wish you every success. She says she was self-employed for 14 years. She said until November 2019. Yes, it is definitely different. I have no idea how on earth I managed to fit everything in while working, because I did have a couple of days where I didn't really do loads or like a full day. When we had a heat wave, like I just couldn't move half the time. I didn't want to move from the air conditioner, so I did a lot of computer things. But yeah, I didn't do loads for 2-3 days, I think it was, while it was absolutely cooking. Though I'm kind of feeling like it's the same sort of heat today. It's really muggy today. Yeah, but after those couple of days, it just all of a sudden, there is just constantly stuff for me to do. And I have no idea how on earth I managed to work full time. And then I did cut a couple of hours from work. So I did cut 2 hours a day. I cut from work initially. I don't know how I managed to fit it all in while still working 6 to 8 hours a day. I really, really don't. Because for the past couple of weeks, I have not stopped. But hey, it's a good job. I love it, isn't it? It's fun. I'm just hoping it can continue and it can keep going, because I am loving it. Okay, I'm trying to find out where my next colour is. Oh, there we go. One of those. One here, one there. Diamond Sparkle Chase says, wow, you're going fast on Picasso. Yeah, I've still not hit his face though. Maybe it slowed down a little bit. I did a bit more last night, did a bit more of his neck. But I still haven't hit his face. She said, congratulations on your new adventure in your life. She says, look forward to watching more videos. Yes. I've got all sorts of ideas for all sorts of different things. I really do. At the minute, it is finding the time to implement many of the things I would love to do. And then, yeah, it's all go. And we'll see how it goes. Jess Diamond Paint, she says, wow, Rebecca, she says, that is wonderful to hear. She said, congratulations on the success of the business. Thank you. Long may it continue. So that I can, yeah, continue to create and bring more. But yeah, huge thank you to all of you guys for making it possible. And I just hope it continues. I hope it's able to continue. She says she enjoys watching me do the Heaven and Earth design August. Plus the school year starts. Oh, so hang on. Can't wait to see what you have planned for the shop going forward. I missed a line. She says she's doing 4 events again in August, plus the school year starts. So she'll be super busy with her boys. And she says she wonders how long she can keep up the level of diamond painting that she has been doing this year. She suspects, she says, that she will feel the need to slow down at some point. She says she's not there yet. You'll know when you're there. She says, but she does plan to stop buying paintings until she has finished a chunk of her current stash. Famous last words and all that. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to help you on not buying diamond paintings at the moment because, as you will have seen from my unboxings, Megan and I recently bought 4 for the price of 3. 6 for the price of 4 from Diamond Arts. We currently, or recently, bought 6 diamond paintings from Diamond Art Club and only paid for 4. I then have actually just had arrive today. I've not unboxed it yet, but I have just had arrive today another diamond painting from Diamond Art Club because I fell in love with it. This is why I should not really read their release emails. So yeah, I fell in love with that and ended up picking up another. This is the problem when I start picking up paintings. It's getting to the point to stop. And then when I stop, I don't tend to get any for ages. I've just not got to the stop point yet. So yeah, I've got all of those. But then I know that Diamond Art Studio UK has new paintings on the way. So I have fully resigned myself to the fact that there may end up being more in my stash before I'm done. Which is partly, I think, what is spurring me on with my large painting, the likes of Picasso at the moment. I'm really enjoying working on large paintings more so than small ones, which I don't know why, because normally the small ones gave me the satisfaction of finishing a painting. So I really enjoyed working on 30 by 40s. I think I go through phases. So I'm going through a phase at the moment where I'm actually preferring to work on the large paintings and feel like that stash is going down a bit. Maybe it's because I'm buying so many large ones that I'm liking to finish them. Maybe. So yeah, I'm trying to work through those and really enjoying doing those. And I forgot what else I was going to say. So I think we'll leave that there. I'm sure I had a point to make at the end of that. I don't know. It is far too warm, I think, for me to think properly. Oh, here we go. Here's a chunk. Sorry, all I have done is moan about how warm it is. Us Brits don't cope with the warm very much. Our houses aren't built for them. Our houses are built to keep the warmth in, not out. Okay, let me get these done. Just that one. Okay, let's get those 4 done and then let's have a look at another question. So that was Jess Darcy. She said, hello Rebecca. She said she enjoys the long WIP Chats. We got another one of those today. She said she doesn't watch television anymore. And sometimes there just isn't any good programming on it. I don't watch that much telly, to be honest. It seems to be a little bit hit and miss who watches telly in this house and who doesn't. So, Caris, Catherine and my hubby Will, they all watch quite a bit of telly. They're always talking about different TV series that are on. Whereas me, Megan and Lewis, not really that interested. We're not as fussed about TV. I still haven't finished watching the series This Is Us. I absolutely love the series. I just don't think of TV as one of the first things to put on. And I probably should, because I do love that series. I just automatically go to put my audiobook on. Right, I've managed to pick up 2 and they're both stuck. Oh, don't go in that one. It's supposed to go in that one. I was trying to sort of place them both at the same time then. Didn't work wonderfully well. Liz says, another lovely WIP and Waffle. Wishing you all the best in your new job. Thank you. My boss so far is awesome. But yeah, it's working really, really well. It's just busy. Cross Stitch and Tat says, congratulations, wishing you all the success. She said, brother-in-law is finishing the last touches on their craft room this morning. Ooh, exciting times. And they can't wait. She can't wait to start moving in her desk shelves and craft stuff in tomorrow. That'll proper keep you busy. She said, so she will have my videos on speaker. So great to have someone to talk to me without the stress of trying to figure out what member here means this time. She said it's hubby's favourite way of trying talking since the stroke, and can mean anything. So thank you very much. They had to start their 5th box for their spare square diamonds this week. And they only have 1 bag of each colour. Oh my goodness me, there's no hope for me then, is there? I'm going to end up with a few more boxes. I don't think I've got the shelf space for a few more boxes. But you need to get your Heaven and Earth design going. Because I know once this Heaven and Earth design is finished, a lot of these colours will fill up my squares box. They'll move over to my squares and they will just start chock-a-blocking it. Because at the minute they're stored somewhere else. You could class that as my extra box, my 4th box. Right, I am on my last case of diamonds. So for this project, I currently have 4 cases, 4 60 bottle cases of diamonds. There are a couple of colours that I have already got to 0 up near the top. At the moment, the bottles are still in my case. They just have the labels taken off. But I need to get quite a few more down to 0 before I will be able to move them over and lose a case. I haven't got like 60 down to 0 yet. There's about 5 or 6, I think, across all the boxes. But we'll get there. There is 4 empty bottles in this case. One of them is because there's 239 colours, not 240. And then 3 that I have finished. But the rest have diamonds in. And quite a few of them. Okay, that's that bit done. Sarah Morris says, good luck to Megan's GCSEs. Is that a Megan in the group? I don't know if there's confusion here. My Megan is too old for that, though Catherine has her A-levels. We're waiting on her A-level results before she goes to university. and that will be, she's the last one to go to university, so should be, she's trying not to think about it. They're a couple of weeks away. Sally Parker says, congratulations on your new adventure. She says she's very grateful for my videos, as they have introduced her and got her hooked on this wonderful craft hobby. Awesome. I love the fact that there's somebody else that has found this craft, because it's amazing. And they wish us every success in the future. Thank you. It's definitely exciting times. Nervous times, but exciting times. Sue, she says, well, that was a piece of exciting news, she said, wasn't it? She says, I bet, she says, when you bought that first painting from Amazon, because I bought a partial from Amazon, she said you never dreamt it would lead to a full-time self-employed job. She says she's sure it will be a success, and she wishes me all the luck in the world. Thank you. She says if she lived locally, she would be very happy to babysit Luna. She said she could get her puppy fix, and you could get on with the things you have to do. Oh, thank you, Sue. So when are you moving close? Should we book you in for moving in September? To be fair, she is getting a lot better. She's a lot easier. It's just shutting myself in my craft room to film YouTube videos. That's the only thing that really is not easy with her now, is filming. So it's trying to get her to the point where I can come in and film and don't have to do that at evenings and weekends. But if I need to, I need to. And I'll just take some time in the week to go do other things that maybe I would have done at the weekend. So we'll make it work until Sue can move over. Till Sue can move over and dog sit 1 day a week, 2 days a week, and I'll have a YouTube day. Oh, there's my couple of zeros. Oh, found my next colour. I keep thinking, oh, there's not that many symbols, but then actually there really is. There is still quite a few that I'm only going to have one of, I think. I'm wondering if I've missed that one as well. I guess I will find out at the end if I have. And these don't want to go straight, so let me just mark off the ones that I've done, and I don't have enough anyway. So let's tip some more in. Quite often I find if I don't tip many diamonds into my tray, they can't knock off each, like bash into each other to help them get straight. It can be harder to get the diamonds to go straight. I think I've also filled in that star and not marked it off, because let's go back, search for that one. It is 869. Oh no, search for that one, highlight, mark, done. And then I was on 3808. Thought all my little gaps were wrong then, but sometimes, especially when I am talking and doing at the same time. I'm going to leave that one because there isn't a diamond there. So it will either come up in a bit or I will have to go hunting for it anyway. Okay, Teresa says, congratulations on doing your shop and videos full time. She says that's wonderful. Thank you. It's working well. It's definitely keeping me busy so far. Definitely keeping me busy. Joe says, congratulations and wishing you all the best, Rebecca, as you venture to being a full-time entrepreneur. I know, it's like, what do I give myself as a job title now? It's very weird. It's definitely a different discussion to what my day job used to be. It's completely different. So if anybody can think of a nice funky job title, then, you know, fire away, and I will, you know, give myself that title. Maybe I even need to make a plaque for a desk or something. Right, not that one, it's that one. It was getting a little bit tricky then on which one needed to go there. Now I've got a little batch that I get to fill in. I like these little fill-in sections, because then I do really feel like I'm getting somewhere. I have a few that are, it's amazing how many diamonds I have that are actually stuck to each other. I seem to have quite a few at the moment. Oh, I have finished all that one. These they don't seem to want to come apart. So let's get these single ones in. Try this one. Will this one come apart? That one will. Oh. Fell into a hole, just the wrong one. I'll get rid of the other one because it doesn't want to come apart. Jo says she's almost done with her Heaven and Earth design project. Spoiler alert, she left this comment 2 days ago. She's finished it already. She says, but she still wants to join in the Heaven and Earth design, she says, after she's completed this one. Sorry, I'm sighing at the fact that I just tipped out far too many diamonds. She says she's thinking that she should start one of her 2 other Heaven and Earth design projects. She has kitted up, but working on an old work in progress also sounds good. She says she has a Heaven and Earth design cross stitch pattern that she started last year, and is only 50% complete. She says she may toss a coin to decide which one she will do. She says, but for the first few days, she says she'll be working to finish her current one, which is 83% complete. She says, thank you for another great waffle. Well, Jo did manage to finish her Randall Spangler painting. It is all done. So I wonder which project you have picked now, Jo. Are you doing your cross stitch, or are you doing a new Heaven and Earth design project, or are you doing both? Because you could alternate between the two. Have one day of one followed by one day of another. Unless, you know, once you get into the cross stitch zone and start doing it, then you will enjoy it just as much as diamond painting. But it's nice that there are a few people joining in. So it doesn't have to be a Heaven and Earth design. It's more of a personal challenge that I'm doing. But sometimes just knowing that somebody else is doing it at the same time can be enough motivation to get something done. Okay, I'm fishing out 3 diamonds instead of 1. I'm so close, but I still feel like there's so many different colours that are going to come up here. Let me find my next one. Going through a few different greens. Nope, we're on to oranges. So 3852. And I wanted 4 and I've managed to tip out 5. Always the way. I will read another comment now. Sometimes I start placing the diamonds and all of a sudden it's like, oh. It runs away with me. I'm getting excited because I'm nearly there. Anne Smith, she says, congrats. She said she remembers years back that I mentioned someday. She says, today is that Sunday. She said, you did it. Thank you. Yes, I did. I'm very, very happy. I am thoroughly enjoying myself. Yeah, and having the time to, do things that I want to do but haven't been able to due to time. It can be so frustrating when you want to do something, you just don't have the time to do it. But it will be good. So, yeah, even just this Heaven and Earth design, doing more of this, is just something that could never have happened before. And now it can. Right, those 2 are stuck together. So I don't need those. Kasara said, congrats. She said, I hope you let it work and you can focus better on the shop and YouTube. She says she's one of the binge watchers, she says, on my older videos. And it's nice to see it grow, she says, to where you are now. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just looking at my screen and not at your comment. She says, and when you see something that you wish to do but not sure and now you have done, she says, yep, I did that now. She says she's also in the preparation of a Heaven and Earth design. She has a canvas. She has a chart. She said she chose one of the smaller ones. Wise choice. She says she's collecting her diamonds and she says she will do it with her spare ones. And today she says she has ordered a case. She says she thinks it will be some time before she can start it. She says, but she has a good excuse for getting some more diamond paintings. Any excuse is a good excuse. Yeah, she says, thank you for all your lovely videos. Awesome news on the Heaven and Earth designs. I think there will be, I am hoping, say, as much forward planning as, I can. Things always change. As I always say with any challenge, like I had a challenge to do this every month and that didn't work. This catch up will now get me ahead of that, but it definitely hasn't happened like I challenged myself at the beginning of the year. But yeah, I will be doing more of this sort of thing. I think more of this sort of Heaven and Earth design challenge to myself. Maybe doing an extra WIP and chat along with it, maybe not. I want to vary that up because, I don't want it to be to turn into a Heaven and Earth design channel if there's people that aren't as interested. I have the 2 main monthly events already in December and in June, and I think those 2 are great and enough for a month-long event with a WIP and chat a day, because a WIP and chat a day is a long time. And if I did it, for example, on this Heaven and Earth design, how long this video is, chatting for that long every single day, especially in the heat of August, would fully exhaust me probably and would take all of my day, or most of my day by the time it's edited and sorted. But I will be doing some more of these mini ones, I think. So anybody that is still kitting up a Heaven and Earth design, then you will have chance to join in. Right, I need to find what number this one is. 779 I missed. To be fair, I'm surprised it's only one. I'm surprised it's not been more than that one. But I'll take it being one. Dip into the pot. And there we go, Confetti Central. Let me mark that one off before it stays never completed. And now I have done 36.04%. More is done. I will deal with the tablet in a moment, but there we go. That is, see, it's as though there's a little fairy there. Is that a little fairy? Am I further up than I thought? No, it's not. It's actually the start of a blossom branch. It's this bit here. You see that bit there? Because I've got my little yellow fairy. So I'm sort of here, around there on the little dreamer's tree. So I've got a bit more before I get to a little mini hut in the tree. And then of course, yeah, what's 50%? Roughly underneath that will be 50%-ish. We'll see if the tablet agrees. But that's another section done. So hopefully I will still get a chance to do one my tomorrow, which is the day that you guys are seeing this. So hopefully I'll still get to do another one. And maybe that'll help keep pushing me on more and more. But I've got that much left to do. All of those. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you all again soon.